1 out of every 5 children that age, but of that age range, 3 to 19, has some form of mental illness, as we define it as some sort of behavioral or emotional issue that keeps them from learning.
Before the pandemic, children didn't seem to be as stressed as they are now. So now I'm seeing children, kind of, they're at their limit. And, if they weren't taught how to kind of self-regulate before the pandemic, everything that's happened in the last year and a half or 2 years has really just kind of welled up inside of them.
Let's define social emotional learning. What is that?
To me, the short answer is teaching kids how to be aware of themselves and aware of other people. So it's how do we get better at interpersonal and how do we get better at intrapersonal? So another way to say it is how do I make myself more comfortable and connected as a human being?
Some folks might say the social and emotional part is, something they should get at home, not in the classroom.
As somebody who was raised in a really dysfunctional home, I would say that the only positive things I did learn was at school, and that's before social and emotional was a word. Now, that's truly just an anecdote about myself. But the thing about social and emotional, we're not talking about specific things that we teach as far as like belief systems. We're talking about skills that they can learn.
I think part of it when it comes to coping skills, I literally have talked to a few students this week who they didn't even know what that term was. And so even teaching them what coping skills mean and really just that it's ways that we deal with our emotions, but also teaching them that there are healthy coping skills like the journaling, the exercising, the having your alone time, things like that. But there's also unhealthy coping skills like drugs and alcohol, self-harm. And so teaching them the importance of engaging in those healthy coping skills because we have to get our emotions out somehow as humans. And so learning how to do that in a healthy way versus an unhealthy way.
There's a very startling quote from William Dameron, who is a dean of education at Stanford, who said the biggest crisis in kids right now is meaninglessness. So this sense of going to school and realizing school is not a place where they feel comfortable or connected. I would say I saw the same thing over the 20 plus years I've been doing this. It's amazing to me how wedded we are to this outcomes-based education. But even before COVID, we were seeing a pretty pernicious, pretty lingering dropout rate. When you are judging kids strictly on a score, they notice, they see. And many kids look at that, and if they can't see themselves being successful, they're going to go find success somewhere else.
The Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning identifies 5 objectives of SEL: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making.